There was no time. I had to get Millie out of there.
Is she alright?
She just needs to rest. We still have a little time.
Understood.
And with that, we finally reached the last floor of the facility. The exciting climax to Overblood is almost in sight. The problem is that Millie has been kidnapped by that mysterious shadowy figure, and to make matters worse, I think that the facility is probably going to explode sometime soon, so yeah, we can probably relax. I think that might be good. No, we need to get to a resolution of this story, and I suppose the good thing is that this final floor is actually pretty small. It does have an interesting look about it, though. It's definitely different than anything we've seen on any of the other subsequent floors. Especially as we head into where I assume that the developers ended up spending 90% of their budget and time to make. Yeah, this is a pretty grandiose room. It's got all kinds of nice colors, and it's all very sci-fi. It looks really interesting. You might think there's a whole lot to do in here. And I will say, when I seem to recall whenever I played this as a kid, I think I just rushed through this room. It was like, cool. But I didn't really investigate anything, which was a bit of a shame because, well, there are these containers with floating globules of cells, and that's definitely something. But what really is worth it drawing our attention to are these blue-looking capsules on the floor here. So we take a closer look.
A scientist. It can't be. It's me.
That's right. For some inexplicable reason, there's a bunch of clones here of good old Raz.
They're all me.
Now, at this point in the game, the whole idea of cloning is not really new. We already know that Millie herself is a clone of the original Millie. It still begs the question of why did Raz make so many clones of himself? Case in point, why did you make so many clones of yourself? I mean, there's still a lot of unanswered questions, like why was Raz locked away on the bottom floor of the facility, tucked away in cryogenic freeze forever, or eternity? And I guess what was his larger goal here with all these clones, and what was up with Millie? Still, we're not going to get any other answers in this room outside of the clone chambers here. Anything else that might look interactable is sadly not interactable. But yeah, these little clone tubes, I totally missed those when I think I initially played these all so many years ago. Hey, what do we see there at the end of the hall? It kind of looks like someone familiar. In fact, it looks like two very familiar figures that we've seen before.
Authorized personnel only. No admittance.
Yeah, these things, oh, they're Pipos. But they actually spoke to us, not in beeps and boops, but in boring old English. Problem is that they are blocking our way. I suppose we could maybe try to reconnect with them like we did with Pipo. And even Raz recognizes his long lost dear friend Pipo. But he does realize the key difference between these and his Pipo is that these things, well, they're just not as helpful. In fact, they are kind of blocking our way to the exit, so got to figure out some way to get around them. And yeah, considering our options, we don't really have any other way to go except this one other door over here. And believe it or not, what I would say is actually a good bit of continuity. We have seen this room before in a cutscene. Yeah, you might remember the shadowy figure that stole away Millie was in this room with two other people, and it seems that their talks kind of broke down to some degree. In fact, if we take a closer look, yeah, quite obviously he is dead, but more importantly,
dead. None of them made it out.
Yeah, this guy has been shot in the chest. So it's not a case of one of the monsters getting to this guy. Kind of get the feeling that shadowy figure was not too happy with their plans to dump Millie here. But you do want to make sure and check this guy one final time, because you find a bullet clip with him, and that'll be pretty useful to us. Along with that, if you do make sure and check underneath the table, find a emergency spray, which, yeah, pretty amazing at this point. I haven't had to use any of them. I guess to some degree that's because of the few and far between enemy encounters you have, but still, I'm sure I could have used one. And yeah, the one other guy in the corner here, it's true, he's very dead. Likewise, he has been shot in the chest, but most importantly of all, he has a key card on him. A key card with a very familiar face on it. Yeah, that's right. This is our key card, I guess? Well, why was this guy holding on to it? I guess maybe when they decided to pop us into deep freeze, they could have stripped of us all of our items. I guess that could explain it, right? We'll figure that out later. For right now, still need to catch up with Millie and that shadowy figure, and now that we have the key card, we should have adequate identification to get past these not totally Pipos.
Identification code 771327 verified. Entry permitted.
Yeah, it's a shame you guys couldn't be more helpful. You totally could add a career being Pipo 2 and 3.
Stay away from her. Astonishing, really, that you've survived this long. You've left me no choice but to terminate you myself.
What do you want with Millie?
Simple. To pick up where we left off. As husband and wife.
That Millie is dead. You've no right to this woman.
Right? How dare you question my rights? She's a perfect duplicate. I've seen to that. She's my Millie in every way.
Except that she doesn't love you.
And you think she loves you? You have no idea how preposterous that is. I've devoted every waking minute, every ounce of my being to restoring her. If you think I'm going to lose her now to you, You're mad.
Nothing you can do can change that now.
No. I have her back at last. Everything will be the way it was between us.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Don't you know by now? I am Raz Karsi.
No!
Zeus, light please. You're nothing but a clone. Of me.
Me? A clone? It's not true.
You're nothing but a lab experiment, cultured from a single hair from my head. You're nothing.
You're lying.
You know it's the truth. You don't have a memory, do you? That's because I didn't give you one. What does a lab rat like you need with a memory? You're just one in a long line of experiments, and the experiment is over.
10 minutes to self-destruct.
Fine. Millie and I will be on our way, just as soon as I deal with this one last detail. Killing the last clone.
I'd rather be dead than go through life with someone as evil as you.
It's me you love. You're my Millie.
You are as meaningless to me as a lump of mold in a petri dish. I won't let you hurt him. I love him. Your Millie is dead.
Think of the gift I've given you. Your life back.
Farewell.
We can pick up where we left off. It's your fault. If you didn't exist, she'd accept me again.
She could never accept you. You're a cold-blooded murderer.
Murderer?
Those others, they wanted to abandon my Millie, to leave her to die here.
Evacuation
It wasn't murder.
procedures are in the
It was
files.
self-preservation. Time's up, clone.
Don't!
Aftershock.
No! It's not fair. No, no, no. I was him. I was so close.
Unbelievable.
Just as he planned. A true integrated biogenetic unit.
So, some pretty startling revelations, but I'll get to those in a second because we are in a boss fight, and it's high time we use our gun, because I guess real Raz is pretty dangerous. Yeah, he has a lot more health than any of the enemies we've fought previously, and he's just as acrobatic. The main difficulty here is still the combat. So hopefully you did make sure to hoard all those fucking bullets, because Raz is a bit of a bullet sponge. Thankfully he doesn't do any more damage than any of the other enemies we've fought so far. Though there is the extra caveat of there's a timer to deal with. Yeah, that's great. We've taken down our originals, like the person we were made from, maybe? I don't know. A part of me, it might seem a bit far-fetched. A part of me thinks that guy was actually a clone, and we are the real Raz, which is why Millie here, as inexplicable as it is, or the clone of Millie, does have feelings for us. And I think that's because this Raz was trying to live out the real, like our, real Raz's life, and that's why I think he locked us away to get to Millie. And yeah, this is all just postulation and guessing, and it's not really concretely set down anywhere, but I think it makes a lot more sense than just hey, we're a clone, she's a clone. That's love, I guess. But either way, we need to get the hell out of here.
Identification code incorrect.
It's not opening.
Try voice recognition. Zeus should respond.
Yeah, and this really isn't the time to just futz around here, because as you kind of saw during cutscenes, the timer just keeps going, so let's try to talk some sense into Zeus here.
Zeus, open this door.
Identification code incorrect.
I'm Raz Karsi.
I cannot verify. There have been too many Raz Karsis lately.
What now?
And see, even that bit from Zeus. Now, we've seen Zeus as a bit sarcastic and almost seems to be working towards his own agenda. But yeah, it does kind of make you think that he wasn't following that Raz's instructions because he was the real Raz, but merely because he was kind of fulfilling Zeus's basic needs. But yeah, Zeus really isn't being super helpful here, and we do have a way to get around his AI, and that's by using an AI of our own, in the form of Pipo.
Decoding SR19 memory. Visual check. Voice recognition. Fingerprint search. Behavior pattern recognition. Judgment pattern. Physical
Come on,
characteristic.
confirm already.
Identification pattern confirmed. SR19 memory positive. Recognition positive. Hello, Raz Karsi. Good to see you again. You may enter.
Thank you, Pipo.
Oh, Pipo. You're so much better than some people. I guess we gotta love. But yeah, sadly we can't bring Pipo's memory chip with us, because he has to keep controlling Zeus, but we can at least give him the satisfaction that we will hopefully make it out of here alive.
Not much time till self-destruct.
I know, we're cutting it close. What now?
More trouble.
Sounds like one more obstacle to pass. There's no time for this.
Do something quick. It's going to break through.
Integrate this. It's gone.
What a night.
Alright, what a night. And what a night to make our way out of this fucking facility finally. I think back on the ground floor. Got this nice little escape plane to get the hell out of here. Good thing for us, Millie is able to fly the plane. So we should be able to make a quick escape with plenty of time to spare. Jesus fuck, this guy is so integrated. So we got one dramatic showdown with ourselves. And again, not really too much has changed from the previous fight. Just mostly just difficult. Now, I suppose you could make this fight a little bit easier by switching to the first person. It's not that much easier, mostly because he seems to have weird invincibility frames. But I will say, if anything... Uh-oh, that's not good. Didn't think I'd run out of bullets, but yeah. I'm not doing too well. Yeah, something I haven't really pointed out yet, but what makes healing pretty difficult is the fact that you do not pause during the pause menu. So we're on to take 2, and it's already going super. Hopefully though, I'll have more bullets this time. But yeah, as I was saying, you do get a lot of healing items, but as the game does not pause during active combat, it can make healing during combat a little bit impossible, if nigh on difficult. Mostly because the enemies are able to cover such amazing lengths of ground. But hey, that's okay. We've taken him down. Or not. Ah, fuck. This guy is so integrated! What can I do to take him down once and for all? Yeah. I think I see where you're going with this, Raz. It's time to do a little barbecue with ourselves. So yeah, all you want to do is lead Monster Raz to the back of the plane.
Now!
Exterior gates open. Passage clear.
And Raz and Millie just barely make it out by the skin of their teeth from the mysterious facility that we will never learn anything more about. And there is a sequel to Overblood, and it's, as far as I know, mostly unconnected. I honestly don't know why it was called Overblood 2. But yeah, so, thoughts on the game. I enjoy it. I think it's actually a very well thought out game. It's tight, it's short, it tells a story in a reasonable fashion. As I think I mentioned at the very start of the LP, it has similar failings that Dr. Hauser had, such as there was an interesting story in Dr. Hauser. It had a setup for one, it had some inklings of, Egyptian lore and a bunch of other stuff. It started to touch on it, and then it just ended. That's kind of what this game did. Had ideas of growing and learning AI, some with ulterior motives, some just wanting to be your friend. It had some ideas about cloning. It had some ideas about, what constitutes you or yourself. It's got a whole lot going on. It tells the start of a story, and then it just ends. And to some degree...
Real Raz?
I don't know. But I am sure of one thing. I know I am the real me.
To some degree, I don't think it wears out its welcome, and I think a lot of the malign feelings that people have on it are kind of misplaced, because there's a lot of super obvious problems with the game. Like, the voice acting is cheesy, the animations are clunky, there's a lot of things like how both character models run around with like finger guns. You can tell River Hill Soft kind of cheaped out on the body animations. They just kind of automatically set it up to look like your character's always going to be holding a gun at some point. But the thing is, deep down underneath that, there is a level of detail and forethought. And there's a lot more to this game than I think people give it credit for, which is a bit of a problem. And it's a bit sad to me. And it's made even worse by the fact that it was Overblood too, which, as far as I can tell, dropped all that, and it's just a sincerely out-and-out horrible affair. But I don't know. Hopefully you did enjoy this romp through Overblood 1. Hopefully you will join me next time for whatever it is I decide to LP. But I am glad I was able to show this off to you guys, and I don't know. See you next time.